Welcome, welcome everyone. Today I have with me my beautiful client Kenya, who's been with me since 2018. I've been freaking begging to get her to do an interview with me, but it's not that you didn't want to, it's just that you're so freaking busy. So I would love for Kenya to share her story with you. I know a lot of you ladies are going to relate. So Kenya, if you can just kind of give a background of where you were before you joined the program, what you do for a living, tell us about your family, and really share with everyone the things that you were doing in the gym where we met that were working for you for a short time until they didn't work anymore.
Yeah. So from Southern California, I'm a mom of three, a wife, a mom of three. I am a PR director.
Busy.
Like you said, really busy. The reason we have not been able to get on a Zoom, your schedule, my schedule, everyone's
Yes.
busy. And I think that's part of the reason that like drew me towards you is just your focus like on busy people. Like how do you make time like when you want it all? You want, you have a husband, you have kids, but you
Yes.
also want to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And when we met in the gym in Southern California, I was actually really involved in physical challenges. So for 30, 60 days, you would try, you and your team, because you
Like
were
boot camp, like kind of boot campy things,
yeah,
right?
like a boot
Yeah.
camp. It's
Like a
like
boot
who
camp.
can
Like
lose.
30 days, lose 20 pounds in 30 days, like crazy stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, which makes you think that this stuff can be done. But when I think about how losing the most weight in 30, 60 days, I was working out twice a day. So I would wake up at 4 in the morning, do two workout classes, like a 45-minute cardio, an hour-long weightlifting, race to work.
For that, literally. Like who, yeah, because you're working out at 4 in the morning, which you don't, that's crazy. And who in real life, this is why these challenges don't work in real life, no one's doing that, which is why things like
Yeah.
75 hard don't really work for the long haul because no one's working out twice a day.
Yeah, yeah. And it's 30 days because that's literally like that's the max amount of time you can do that. Like that's not something that you can keep going. And so we had like a menu of things we could eat. I remember
It was very strict. I remember
yeah,
you showed
very
me the menu. It
frustrating.
was very strict. It was like chicken, brown rice. It was almost like bodybuilder eating in a way.
Yes, bodybuilder eating, and it worked. Like I remember at the first challenge, my team members and I did loss of it was like close to what 25, 30 pounds. And we were like, oh my gosh. Like I was looking at pictures the other day and I'm like, oh my, like my face just was kind of sunken in. And we were so proud of ourselves.
You're
And
so nutrient deficient. You're like, my face is like sunken in.
And then I just remember at the end of it, some of the other people who were on teams who did it, they're like, let's go to IHOP. And I was just like, oh my God, like we can eat now. And then you're nervous. So in like 30 more days, packed on that weight, packed it all
Right,
back.
right back. Also, I want to speak to that quickly. Then you're nervous. So doing these unsustainable, quick fixy things,
Yes.
they really do create a poor relationship with food because
Oh,
you weren't eating the way you wanted to eat. Let's just call it what it is. You were eating like in a very strict bodybuilder way, which is meant for people who do those type of competitions, not meant for
yes.
real life. And then you're done with that, and then you're like, oh, I want a pancake with my breakfast, but I feel bad. Which should we should never feel bad for that kind of things. And there's obviously we're not saying have pancakes every day, but if you want the freaking pancake or whatever it may be, have it. So go on.
Yeah, and so during that period of the challenge, me and my teammates, we were like, "Did you eat a piece of bread?" Like, and I remember it was like someone had eaten something that they weren't supposed to, and we were like, "How are we going to win this challenge?" But it was just like this.
Eat that bread. Yeah. So really, really crazy, unsustainable mindset too. Like your mindset kind of got a little off doing that.
Yeah. So I did the challenge, and then I met you in the gym. Great. And then I think, kept doing this stuff. And it was around the time I had my third kid. You and I met, and I had already talked to you. And then I was like, okay, I've gained back the weight. Like I
Yeah.
gained back all the weight from that challenge. And you had this program, and I wanted
I had
to
just
go
launched the
into.
program online too. Like I've been doing it for like just launched it online, and like Henny was literally one of the first ladies, and I'll never forget. She was like, "Okay, I'm interested, but I'm not going to join if it's like thousands of dollars. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it if it's expensive." And I was like, "What's expensive?" I'm like, "Expensive." I said that to you. I was like, "What's expensive? What does expensive mean to you?" Right?
Yeah.
Because I think people always have like a connotation in their head. And it's like, what is your health worth to you?
Yeah, and I remember thinking like, okay, if it's cheap, I'll do it. But it's again,
I'm so glad you said that because so many women operate that way. If it's cheap, I'll do it. And then just like anything in life, like you get what you pay for. You
Get what
did
you pay
achieve
for.
changes and look what you got. You did.
Hmm.
I'm not even going to call a program expensive. I don't really believe in using those words. You invest in yourself at a higher level and
Yeah.
look what you got.
Yeah, exactly. And it's that mind frame, like if it's quick, I'll do it.
It's quick and
If
cheap.
it's
I'll do it.
cheap, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, thinking of your health as something that, like, you can just get it quickly. You can just pay
Huh.
barely nothing to get
Yeah.
it. When in
Oh,
reality,
I could buy a $10 ebook and I'll know what to do, or you know what I mean? Or I'll just do this free thing, or I'll just do this next free thing. And I think, do you think that your mindset was like that? Was it a level of worthiness, or did you just feel like did you not feel like, because I know there's a lot of moms have guilt, like, oh, I feel guilty for spending this money on myself when I have kids to send to college, or or XYZ vacation we're taking. Like, did you feel that at all at times?
yeah, I felt that, like, how could I spend all this money on myself? And then I think there was also just a little bit about not really understanding what goes into something like this. And it's
Yeah.
because you think it's like that quick fix. Also, like, how do you explain to people, oh, like, it seems, it's where it seems a little bougie. Oh, I have a trainer, or, oh, someone is helping me
Who cares if it's bougie?
meals.
Own it. Yeah, I have a mentor. I have a mentor and I have a coach. Who cares if it's bougie? Don't, like, this is the other thing that we work through in our program. Like, Kenya's obviously judging herself still. It's like, if it's bougie, what's wrong with being bougie? I'm bougie, you're bougie. Like, the women in our program are bougie. We like nice things, right?
Well, that's what I thought at that time. I
Okay.
no longer think it's a very bougie thing. Like, it's investing in myself, investing in, and as you start to realize, like, at the time I came to you, I'm like, I remember, okay, so how much can you tell me that I'm going to lose?
Oh,
How
yeah.
much?
Angelica, I need to know, am I going to lose? Let's just pick a number. Am I going to lose this 28 pounds? I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't answer that. I actually had a conversation with someone the other day. I said, I can't answer it. It's depending on you, your body type, your inflammation, how much effort you put in. Your
Hmm.
adherence to protocol, protocol is an extreme word, but your adherence to the gut
Yeah.
healthy foods and the nutrition and the macros and all the things. But obviously the program has changed over the years. We're not even so crazy about macros anymore. It's really about decreasing inflammation and cortisol and hormonal balancing. As we've aged, I've aged, you've gotten older, so it shifts. But a lot of women like to ask that question, and I cannot guarantee an amount of weight, but I said, you will get results. I said, there's no way you're not going to get results.
Yeah, you did. And I was only thinking about, like, weight loss.
She was
Mind
obsessed.
blown. Never would have imagined all the other things that I would gain from a program like this, and by investing in myself.
What are some of the things you've gained? Obviously, you lost weight and your body looks good and you feel better, you're more sexy, all that. Great.
Well, one, it didn't. So I came to the program, then I left because I'm like, I've been in this program. I know the workouts.
I
I
know
know
what
what
I'm
to do.
doing.
I don't need to check in. I know. And then I left the program, and then I remember getting back into the gym. I'm like, what do I work on today? Like, I know nothing about putting together a workout.
Yeah.
And wake up in the morning, oh, like, I don't feel like going back, I don't feel like going to the
Oh,
gym,
I feel
so
like, yeah, I feel
I'll
like
go
working out.
later. Yeah,
You find it
also.
easy, but also because in the program you have your coaches, you have the community, you have women that are going through it with you. That community piece, whether you're totally active in it or not, I know you're so busy, but you still know subconsciously that there's women going through it with you. You see them in the group, you see them on the calls. So
Yeah.
there's that level of support, which raises your vibration to say, okay, these women are getting up and doing it, I'm going to get up and do it. When you're by yourself, you're just by yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So I left the program, I came back, and I weighed more than I did when I left the program. And even then, it's like I still, it hadn't clicked, even though I've been in before. Like, you have to do some of the work, and I think that's part of it is, being in a program and expecting, like, people to do the work for you. And so I was just talking to my Coach Nicole, and I was like, I'm finally, like, I'm seeing the results that I've been can wait to see, because I'm doing everything that you've told me to do. And she's like, what a concept.
What a concept. Do what you do. And I want to be clear. Kenya's not saying that the program did not work the first time, but what happens is if you, and this, I've talked about this before, if you leave too soon or you
Yeah.
haven't shifted your mindset on a deep enough level, right? We're in our 40s. We have a lifelong worth of subconscious habits and patterns and thought processes that we're working against. So you don't just come into a program for 6 months or even a year and think, okay, I'm totally I'm
Mm,
totally healed. I'm good. I've totally healed my relationship with food and my relationship with self and my power. And you can think that, but
you can think that.
3 4 years for an identity shift. And Kenya's just hitting her fifth year, technically fourth because you left for a little bit. So
Yeah.
now it's clicking. And this isn't to say if you join our program, you're not going to get results in 6 months. You will get results. Look at
Oh
the
yeah. Yeah. I got
results.
results
Like,
the first time,
yeah,
and then
you're
I'm
going to get
like, I
results.
got this.
Yes,
I don't
it's
need any help. I'm leaving. And you forget about having a support system, having
discipline
someone help and guide you.
mindset.
Life, just like I started going through things in life,
Yeah, you went
and
through a
then
lot.
yeah, and you find yourself, you're like eating more, and you're like drinking more, and you're sleeping in, and I had like a thyroid issue, just things that I was like, oh my gosh. And I, all of a sudden, I didn't recognize myself. And I was in a body that I'm like, I've never weighed this much before in my life. Like, I'm not working out. I'm not. And so it's a community, and having someone that can help and guide you through the different stages of your
Of
life.
your life. Yeah, I just was talking about this morning in my Instagram stories. The clients who work with me one-on-one, one of our clients, her dad is getting open heart surgery. And just being able to guide you guys through different things. Yes, we help you with fat loss and weight loss and body composition and nutrition and gut health, but having a coach there to guide you through the things that are going on in your life and keep you healthy through that, because your body is your vessel, you're a mother,
Yes.
you're high level in your career, you travel a lot, like you need your body to be operating at a high level and your mind. And
Yeah.
that's what we're there for. It's more of, to put it bluntly, it's more of a life coaching program that incorporates
Yes.
body transformation. It's like a
Oh,
life
yes.
coaching program
Yes.
with body transformation as a plus, with gut health and hormones, but we're really helping you get to the next level in your life. Also, kudos to Kenya and many of our clients who throughout our program have transcended in their careers, who have pushed to make more money, who have spoken in their power and asked for the money that they thought they deserved. Because back in the day when I coached Kenya, when it was just me, the only coach, we had a lot of talks about that. I'm like, you deserve to make more money. You need to ask for more money. And I've done that with Dylan too. So that's another beautiful piece, that all the women in our program make more money no matter what profession they're in,
Oh, yeah.
real marketing, executive, because you guys feel more confident and aligned and have clear, less brain fog. You're more
Yes.
clear to say, I deserve this.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that it starts here. And I was more looking for like changes on the scale, which I have that now, but I have that because of the changes mentally, like a mindset shift. In this program, I manifested my house that I live in. Remember,
Amazing.
I was
Yes, I
like,
remember that. Like to
what?
a T, manifested it to a T. Like because we teach manifestation in the program, something that Kenya wasn't doing before, which I love.
Manifested my house. I am, since I came back, I think I'm like 25 pounds down.
Amazing.
Angelica, like, I could just cry. I mean,
And you're glowing, like you're freaking glowing. You know what I mean? Like that's the most beautiful thing. Like it's not about the number on the scale. It's
yeah.
about how she's looking, how she's feeling. She's thriving in her career. Yes, she's super busy, and it took us 18 months to book this live. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm busy too. But no, like this is why I wanted you to share your story for multiple reasons, because you're very relatable in that you're just a busy career driven mother. And then also that you had a mentality that I believe a lot of women still have, like, I'll just pay cheap or I'll just do a free thing. And it's like, you always get what you pay for. If, like I always say, like, if you're going to go out to dinner at the Four Seasons, sure, it's a higher level investment in your dinner, but what are you getting? You're getting a beautiful experience. You're
Yeah.
getting food that's amazing. You're getting gorgeous views. Or you can just go to your local, whatever, Chick-fil-A, whatever people are eating. It's like, I mean, that's an extreme difference, but it's like you always get what you pay for.
Yeah,
Always.
you always, and when you think about it, like what helped me, I sat down and thought about how much I pay for my kids in sports monthly. And these are not professional sports players. These are like,
They're like, they're just your kids. They're not going to be like major athletes. I mean, I don't know. They may be.
who knows what's going to happen in their sports future, but hundreds, hundreds,
Hundreds.
maybe thousands of dollars a
Yeah.
month.
Hundred,
Um,
yeah, literally. You're like, okay, I can
yes.
spend a few hundred on myself a month. And the end of the day, too, if you were to break down, and because you live in California, if you were to break down having a personal trainer 3 times a week,
I did break that down.
you did break
Yes.
it down. Just to let you know, so when I was a personal trainer, I was 150 an hour. And my
Mhm.
clients saw me 3 times a week. Because if you work with a PT, you need to work out with them a minimum 3 times a week, because or else you need to, like, you're not gonna do stuff on your own. That's typically why people hire a PT. So 2, 3 times a week, and then you're with a nutritionist, right? You need a nutritionist, and then you need a gut health expert or hormonal expert. Then what about community? What about accountability? What about
Yeah.
the messaging daily? So then we have a somatic coach, breath work, and meditation. So when you break it down, everything you're getting, our program would actually be worth $10,000.
Oh
If
yeah.
if
Yeah, it's a still, it's, I spent time going to a trainer and it was twice a week. And don't think about asking them like, oh, can you put together like a
oh
meal
no.
plan for me? That's extra.
Yeah.
With my coach, I can say, hey, I'm going to a restaurant. I'm going to send you the menu. She's like, hey, like these are some
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
I have been doing really good in the gym, getting up early in the morning. I got sick. I was doing traveling. I was stuck. I wasn't getting up earlier. This week, she's like, I want a picture from you in the morning from the gym. It's just
Accountability.
really, like,
Accountability.
that's not something you're going to get from a
No, you
trainer.
don't get that. And then
Yeah.
what about like the I love how we have the meditations and the breath work because
Invitations,
you know,
mindset group calls.
yeah, like without that stuff, if your body still stays really stressed, which as we know we all are, you're never going to shed the weight. And that's something that I know you really like the meditation. You're really present during those meditation visualizations. So just having that thrown in as well. I just think it's yeah, it's a beautiful marrying of all the things. I think people don't realize what they're actually getting. It's like
Yeah.
it's not just personal training. It's not fitness and nutrition. It's way deeper, you know?
I think also, and I'll say this part, having that feeling like you're stuck and it's never gonna change. Like when I left and then came back and I had gained more weight, I was like, I'm joining this program, but I don't think that there's any way that like I can't even imagine losing all the weight or feeling like I
Oh,
didn't feel good in my body anymore. I would even avoid going out in groups because not that I was just so like
yeah.
huge, but I
No, for
wasn't
you though.
I
For you.
wasn't myself. For me,
Yeah, for you. It
this
doesn't matter
felt
if it's
comfortable.
5 pounds or 50 pounds.
Yes,
You're not that tall. You're like 5 what? 5'4", 5'5"?
by about 5'7", yeah.
Okay,
And
5'7".
so
But still, like, okay, you're way taller than me. But yeah, you still feel highly uncomfortable in your skin. And
I'm
when you're highly uncomfortable in
comfortable.
your skin, you don't show up as your best self. You don't want to go to all the events. Like you're hiding on vacation. It's not a good look. It's not a good feel.
Yeah, yeah. So to me, like that's priceless.
It is. The feeling
Um,
is priceless.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm
well,
thankful
I think
to.
we can end there. The feeling is priceless. So stop asking what things cost and
Yes.
stop asking what does it cost and start asking yourself what does it cost to stay stuck and miserable and out of alignment and tired and exhausted and burned out.
And you just summed up how I felt.
I know. Okay, I know you have a meeting, so I will let you go. Thank you so much, beautiful. I'm happy to finally talk to you and see you and share this. I love you.
Bye, love you, girl. Bye.
Bye.